Well, howdy there. I'm so sorry for taking so long getting a review out finally after Thanksgiving, but who wanted to watch a movie during Thanksgiving? I mean, everyone's spending money on food. Anyways, I'm pretty sure I didn't miss out on any movie during Thanksgiving, but maybe there was like a Clint Eastwood movie that I really wanted to see, but just got busy with other things. I'll try to watch the movie when it comes back in theaters or whenever it goes on streaming because apparently it's already out of theaters. Alright, let's get to our second movie of the year featuring AOL. Holy fucking shit. I mean, A24 is basically taking over Hollywood, and I am all for it, as we all should be. I mean, before the movie even started, we got to see like 2 or 3 A24 trailers, and my goodness, I am so goddamn happy to see it because every single trailer here just felt unique, different, and fucking epic. And you wanna know what the best part is? It's the fact that the trailers don't reveal every single nitty gritty detail of the plot. The trailer for The Brutalist starring Adrian Brody that shit is awesome. Y2K, or the year 2000, follows a ragtag group of misfits having a party on New Year's Eve of 1999. For the folks out there who remember the 90s and early 2000s, this is gonna be a real kicker for y'all because holy shit, this thing really is just full of nostalgia. We follow Jaden Martell, Julian Dennison, and Rachel Zegler, all trying their best to survive the rise of AI apocalypse. And in case you didn't know, Y2K is in reference to this thing called the year 2000 problem. I don't have a big enough brain to fully understand it, but maybe some of you nerds out there will get it. It's probably not that complicated, but I'm just way too fucking lazy and tired to fucking go into it. Anyways, it's a cool little spin-off of a real-world problem that happened back in the day, and making it turn into some crazy AI uprising is a lot of fun. Basically, every single electronic in your home has been taken over by an AI and will be used to kill you. This AI not only wants to eradicate all human life, but turn them into slaves. But maybe our characters can save the day. I'm not gonna lie, once we got past the first act of this film, I thought this was some kind of YouTube short film that just managed to get a whole studio to support it. This is a 91-minute movie that tries to do a little bit too much within its time span and unfortunately just falls flat, especially with the moments that are trying to be emotional. The plot itself is a lot of fun. It's just unfortunate that the character development here is just so lackluster. Sure, maybe I'm being a little bit too harsh with this limited time frame, but then again, Shaun of the Dead, which is only 8 minutes longer, manages to develop interesting characters and relationships, and by the end of that film, we genuinely care about what happens to each of these people. Well, what happens to Nick Frost at least, because the relationship between those two is fan-fucking-tastic. That's what this movie should have been aiming for. You could tell all the puzzle pieces are there, and if you want to say it, it's basically a copy and paste of Shaun of the Dead. The world is ending due to an apocalypse, and two best friends must rise up together and fight to survive. One of whom has a love interest trying to keep the sparks alive, or at least trying to make some sparks happen. Yeah, if you watch Y2K and then rewatch Shaun of the Dead, the difference is night and day. I'm not saying that Y2K needs to copy exactly what Shaun of the Dead does, but there's a reason why Shaun of the Dead is just so memorable. Why audiences care so much about the narrative and characters compared to Y2K. It also feels partly inspired by This Is the End, starring James Franco and Seth Rogen and all their friends. So what went wrong with this movie? The production, of course, is amazing. It's an A24 film that takes place in the year 99 to 2000, so there's definitely a nostalgia trip for a lot of folks out there. And while, of course, the film showcases those different groups of those eras, nostalgia alone cannot carry this movie. And a part of me feels like that's what it was banking on, which is just unfortunate because it should not be what hopefully keeps audiences going along. The writing here is just not all that strong, which is unfortunate because I love our two leads. Jaden and Julian give such brilliant performances. I love these guys. They're me. They're us, early 2000s kids. Their friendship should have been the focus here, like how Nick Frost's Simon Pegg's friendship was in Shaun of the Dead. Unfortunately, it's not, and for those of you who have seen the movie, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Certain moments did have me giggling and enjoying it. You know, it's not all bad, but it's also just not great enough for me to remember. A lot of it is so cheesy and corny, and while some of it actually worked, the other half just was kind of like, It's like the film was just struggling to commit to the comedy or the horror, and it didn't know how to have a good balance between them, so they were just like, it just felt kind of awkward at certain scenes. At moments, even kind of cringy, because it's like they were trying to make it funny, but then also kind of scary? I don't know. It's very clear that the director and writers on this film don't really understand how to properly mesh comedy and horror, because there's such a lack of style here that could have really added to this movie. And while I did have some laughs, some enjoyable moments in this film, it's just not enough to want me to rewatch this film. But hey, it's one of those straight to DVD movies that you might find at your local Blockbuster and basically buy it or check it out just because it seems like a lot of fun, pretty interesting for a single night. Or perhaps you'll turn it up as background noise, because it's not a bad movie at all. It's fun, it's just not that memorable. While I may have had a couple chuckles throughout Y2K, it is unfortunately an uninspired mess that has been done better elsewhere, with an ending that was kind of cool, kind of cheesy, and just kind of lame. I really wanted to love this film, especially with the energy and spirit it had going, but man, this ain't it. But hey, you might love this movie more than I did. Just give it a shot. Alright, that's enough of me. I'll catch you guys next time.
Don't you know that it's you? Can't you see, can't you see that it's true? Don't you know that it's you? Can't you see, can't you see that it's true? Don't you know that it's you? Can't you see, can't you see that it's true? Don't you know that it's you? Can't you see, can't you see that it's true?